Jessica here at Yoga for Everybody, representing Zen Active Sports, presenting another one of my favorite yoga poses, the yoga squat. So for the yoga squat, we're actually going to want to start from a standing position with the legs wider than hip width apart. Okay, and then the toes, I always start with my toes facing forward, but it is another option to turn the toes to the side. Okay, and then we could keep the arms up overhead for more of a challenge as we sink deeper into the squat. Or we could keep the hands by the heart center. So, and again, we could keep the toes facing forward if that feels better. We could come down. See, I like it better with the toes facing to the side. If we can delve down deep enough, we can rest the elbows in between the inner thighs, so helping to keep those knees in alignment with the ankles. Okay. And then if we wanted a little assistance in the pose, we could use a chair, making sure the chair is on the mat so it doesn't slide. And I have a blanket on my chair as well for even more cushion. So this is definitely a nice place to start for the yoga squat. I've been practicing this pose for many years and it's still very challenging, so be gentle on yourself, take it one step at a time, and as always, remember to just congratulate yourself and thank yourself for taking the time to work on you. Okay, and then when we're ready to come out of the pose, I always bring my hands down because I'm typically, down closer to the floor here. But certainly if you're more upright, you would just toe heel, the feet back together. And then we could throw in a nice little counter stretch. Let's bring it down to a seated position on the mat. So let's go ahead and with the feet hip width apart, bring the arms up on the inhale of the breath, and then on the exhale, we'll hinge forward to this seated forward fold. Keeping the shoulders down, the chest open. The head looks between the feet on the floor. And we can hold this counter stretch for as long as it feels good. The yoga squat really works the inner thighs, so it's nice to get the hamstrings a little stretch to give the inner thighs a nice little counter stretch. And when we're ready to come out of the pose, of course, we just gently walk it back up to a comfortable seated position. So thanks for practicing the yoga squat pose with me. I know it's very challenging. I don't typically teach that pose to beginners because of the fact that it's so challenging, but you know what? You'll never get better until you start practicing, and really it comes back again to the whole purpose of yoga is not to reach the full extent of all the poses that we practice in yoga. That's not the purpose. The purpose is to enjoy the journey. I'm always going to try to remind you guys the importance of positive self-talk, especially during yoga. We need to be always encouraging, always thanking ourselves for taking the time to work on ourselves. Okay, there's no better friendship than the one you have with yourself. So thanks again for practicing the yoga squat with me here on Zen Active Sports. And be sure, of course, to stay tuned for more tips and videos at www.zenactivesports.com. And thanks again for practicing with me. Namaste.